MathStudent 40 final exam review, questions 28 through 32. 28. Sketch the line with slope 2/3 that contains the point -1, -3. Label the given point and at least two other points on the graph. So I will draw in a coordinate system. I use a ruler so that I get nice straight lines. And then after the ruler, after I get my coordinate system, and I'll mark it. Now it says -1, -3, so I'm just going to make sure. Go a few points to the right, 5 points to the left. I'll just do a few up and a few down. All right, so I'm going to start by plotting the point -1, -3. So I will go -1, -3. Here's my first point. I'm going to label it. So it's -1, -3. So the slope is 2/3. When you're looking for a slope, which equals 2/3, remember it is rise over run. So I'm going to go up 2, that's my rise, and my run is also positive, so I'll go to the right 3. So I'm going to go up 2 to the right 3. So let's just go ahead and count this out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And that's where I'm going to put another point. Now that point is at 2, -1. And I'm going to find one more point because the question asks for 3. So I'm going to go up 2, rise 2, run 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's my third point for this graph. And that point will end up being 5, 1. Now to finish this, because we're supposed to graph the line, I'm going to grab my ruler. And notice how the 3 points match up very nicely. And I'll draw in my line. And that would be the line given the slope 2/3, and it contains the point -1, -3. Number 29. Find an equation for the line which passes through -2, 5 and is parallel to the line y equals 3x minus 2. Leave the answer in slope-intercept form. Well, what we know about parallel lines is that they have the same slope. So that means the slope, since the slope of this line, y equals 3x minus 2, is 3, the slope of our line will also be 3. There are two different ways that you could actually go ahead and find this line. And one is to use the point slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. And the other one is through using y is equal to mx plus b. I'll demonstrate both. Using point slope form, as we see on the left, I will enter the information. So y minus y1. Now the point that we're given in the question is our x1, y1. So that means our y1 is 5. My slope is 3, and that will be times x minus x1 minus a -2. Now when we minus a negative, it turns into a plus. Now I need to solve for y because we're supposed to express our answer in slope-intercept form. Let's first distribute the 3 to clear parentheses. So we have 3x plus 6. And then we will add 5 to get y alone. So y is equal to 3x plus 11. That is the answer using point slope form. Now using slope-intercept form. What we know is that our slope is 3. And so I'm going to put that in to the equation. Now, if we knew what b was equal to, we would be done because that would be the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. We need to find b. So what we'll do is we will take this point, this -2, 5, and we're going to put it in for x and y in the equation that we have so far. So for y, I'm going to take the 5 uh, from the point is equal to 3 times a -2 plus b. Now notice that the only variable that remains now is the b. So we're going to go ahead and solve for it. So 5 is equal to -6 plus b, or b is equal to 11. Now that I know that b, which is my y-intercept, is 11, I can just feed it into the original equation, and I also get y is equal to 3x plus 11. Either method is correct in finding the equation of this line. Moving on to number 30. Find the equation of the line that passes through the points 3, -4, and 5, 0. Right, so the first thing that I need to do is I have to find my slope. And I know that the slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to put my information in and that I have, and I'm going to let the second point be my x2, y2, and the first point be my x1, y1. It doesn't matter which is which. It doesn't matter. So you could actually switch them around meaning which point is x1, y1, and x2, y2. So feeding the information in, I'm going to have 0 minus a -4 divided by 5 minus 3. 4 divided by 2 gives me a 2. Now it's at this point that because I know my slope is equal to 2, that I can use either method in finding the equation for the line. So I'm going to go ahead and use point slope form. And you can use either point. I'm going to use 5, 0. So I'm going to have y minus 0 is equal to my slope times x minus 5. Solving for y, I get y equals 2x minus 10. And that is the answer to my equation. We're finding an equation that goes through the points 3, -4, 5, 0. Let's go on to number 31. Find an equation for the line with undefined slope which passes through the point -7, 2. All right, so let's just use a little sketch to see what we mean here. The point is at -7, 2. So -7, 2. All right, so the point goes through this green point here, right? That's our -7, 2. And then what we know about undefined slopes is that they are vertical lines. Now, a vertical line, notice that the x value always stays the same. So vertical lines have undefined slopes, and they are defined by x equaling the x-intercept, which in this case is a -7. Number 32. Find an equation for the line parallel to the line y is equal to -2, which passes through the point 3, -1. So if the line goes through the point y is equal to -2, it's a horizontal line, because that is the equation for an equation for a horizontal line is y equal to the y-intercept. So that means the line parallel to this horizontal line is another horizontal line. And going through the point 3, -1 means that y equal to -1 will be the equation for the line.